Okay, here we are. Hi. Uh, be here, beginning of the week. Very cloudy day, but warmer. That's nice. And for those of you in the United States, it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, all of you painter mother people out there. Hope it's a great day for all of you. There have been some great mother painters over time. We have more now. It's great. So, and I thought maybe I got a little sidetracked. I was reading the Frank Auerbach book by Robert Hughes from the 90s. Fantastic. And I almost switched things up, but I'm not going to. I'll stick with the plan. So, Lucy and Freud. This was a show that was in the Tel Aviv Museum of Art in the 90s. It's a great show. It's amazing that that was there, actually. And there's this wonderful quote that I wanted to bring and read. So I'm going to. And here it is. It's not too short, not too long. It's from there to there. So, and I think I've got a PDF of it. I'll try to include it in the, I'll look for it and I'll try to include it in the email I send out. So, anything else before I go into this? Big guy's coming along. I'll send a picture. It's really getting close, I think. Doing good. Thinking a lot. I've been thinking a lot about form and non-form. Not sure what to say about it at this time. That seems really an important thing. I'll leave it at that. Get back to it at a later date. Form and non-form. What is non-form? Okay, Lucy and Freud. This is from 1954. How old is he? I'm not going to Google it. I'll keep reading. Some thoughts on painting. My object in painting pictures is to try and move the senses by giving an intensification of reality. Whether this can be achieved depends on how intensely the painter understands and feels for the person or object of his choice. Because of this, painting is the only art in which the intuitive qualities of the artist may be more valuable to him than actual knowledge or intelligence. The painter makes real to others his innermost feelings about all that he cares for. A secret becomes known to everyone who views the picture through the intensity with which it is felt. The painter must give a completely free rein to any feelings or sensations he may have, and reject nothing to which he is naturally drawn. It is just this self-indulgence which acts for him as the discipline through which he discards what is inessential to him, and so crystallizes his tastes. A painter's tastes must grow out of what so obsesses him in life that he never has to ask himself what it is suitable for him to do in art. Only through a complete understanding of his tastes can he free himself of any tendency to look at things with an eye to the way he can make them fit in with a ready-made conception. Unless this understanding is constantly alive, he will begin to see life simply as material for his particular line in art. He will look at something and ask himself, can I make a picture by me out of this? And so his work degenerates through no longer being the vehicle of his sensation. One might say that he has to come to crystallize his art instead of his tastes, thereby insulating it from the emotion that could make it alive for others. Oh, if someone gets sidetracked, he's crystallized his art, not his tastes. And so he's insulating what he makes from the emotion that could make it alive for others. The painter's obsession with his subject is all that he needs to drive him to work. People are driven towards making works of art, not by familiarity with the process by which this is done, but by a necessity to communicate their feelings about the object of their choice with such intensity that these feelings become infectious. If the painter needs to put himself at a certain emotional distance from the subject in order to allow it to speak, he may smother it if he lets his passion for it overwhelm him while he is in the act of painting. Painters who deny themselves the representation of life and limit their language to purely abstract forms are depriving themselves of the possibility of provoking more than an aesthetic emotion. Painters who use life itself as their subject matter, working with the object in front of them or constantly in mind, do so in order to translate life into art, almost literally, as it were. The subject must be kept under closest observation. If this is done day and night, the subject, he, she, or it, will eventually reveal the all, without which selection itself is not possible. They will reveal it through some and every facet of their lives or lack of life, through movements and attitudes, through every variation from one moment to another. It is this very knowledge of life which can give art complete independence from life, an independence that is necessary because the picture, in order to move us, must never merely remind us of life, but must acquire a life of its own precisely in order to reflect life. I say that one needs a complete knowledge of life in order to make the picture independent from life, because when a painter has a distant adoration of nature, an awe of it, which stops him from examining it, he can only copy nature superficially because he does not dare to change it. A painter must think of everything he sees as being here entirely for his own use and pleasure. The artist who tries to serve nature is only an executive artist. And since the model he so faithfully copies is not going to be hung up next to the picture, since the picture is going to be there on its own, it is of no interest whether it is an accurate copy of the model. Whether it will convince or not depends entirely on what it is in itself, what is there to be seen. The model should only serve the very private function for the painter of providing the starting point for his excitement. The picture is all he feels about it, all he thinks worth preserving of it, all he invests it with. If all the qualities which a painter took from the model for his picture were really taken, no person would be painted twice. The aura given out by a person or object is as much a part of them as their flesh. The effect that they make in space is as bound up with them as might be their color or smell. The effect in space of two different human individuals can be as different as the effect of a candle and an electric light bulb. Therefore, the painter must be as concerned with the air surrounding his subject as with that subject itself. It is through observation and perception of atmosphere that he can register the feeling that he wishes his painting to give out. A moment of complete happiness never occurs in the creation of a work of art. The promise of it is felt in the act of creation, but disappears towards the completion of the work. For it is then that the painter realizes that it is only a picture he is painting. Until then, he had almost dared to hope that the picture might spring to life. Were it not for this, the perfect painting might be painted, on the completion of which the painter could retire. It is this great insufficiency that drives him on. Thus, the process of creation becomes necessary to the painter, perhaps more than is the picture. The process, in fact, is habit forming. Pretty great. So, there you go, a little something. It's a gift, painting. It's incredible. Well, okay then. I am going to finish this up. This is good. Hope you're all well. Working. Um, all right. Be well. Be in touch. I'll talk to you all later. Take care.